Hola, bonjour, and hey, howdy, everybody. You're listening to Worldwide Tea. It is the one-stop shop for coverage of all the international seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. As always, I am Evan Sadi from Pop Matters.
I'm Gregory Ellwood from the playlist.
And y'all, it is the time of the season, as we all have been waiting for. We have multiple things going on, and let's be honest, we're trying to experiment out this week. We've had such fun separating out our Philippine Slation Royale coverage and finding the fans really responding to that episode that we're going to try splitting up our coverage of the other episodes this way. So if you're watching and listening to this right now, this is a standalone episode that we are doing for Drag Race Espana, Season 5, Episode 2, and our coverage of UK is going to be another episode. So whatever you need, it is a one-stop shop. We recommend you listen to it all so that you have to know what we have to suffer through in some of these cases. But we are very excited about it. Greg, 2 episodes into España, how are we feeling so far?
I'm feeling pretty good. I like the queens. This
Uh-huh.
episode had a lot of choices. Uh, Listen, I think there's a reason why España it's such a good franchise. It's so
Mhm.
good, but every franchise has their own little interests,
Quirks. Yeah.
quirks. And I think the hobbies tend to have a lot of favoritism. I think that's been a criticism since the beginning. And
Uh-huh.
I felt like that was on display a little bit this
I
episode.
would agree. I would
Yeah.
absolutely agree. Well, just like our UK counterpart, Season 5, Episode 2 of España starts off with the Queens coming back into the workroom. And I'll be honest, the edit wasn't really great this episode because right off the gate, some of the Queens are complaining, there's still 12 left. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's literally week one. Are you not familiar with the format of the show? Sometimes they don't eliminate people on the first episode. So that was interesting. I didn't really get a whole lot of other else from the introductory banter after the first non-elimination. What did you think, Greg?
You know, the only weird thing was I had this moment of realization when they came in, and actually in the first morning when they came in, that when they returned to the workroom the next morning, that it felt like the most we are on television, we are going to be at this table and give you what we think you want than I've seen in a franchise in a long time. And I didn't think it was necessarily bad, but it
Was it
was
like
also like
stunted? Yeah.
it felt very stunted, like we're all in on this, like
Hmm.
until we're not. And I thought that was interesting, at least.
Yeah.
But we have a mini challenge, and
Yes.
and Supreme we see once again in the portrait style room
Her
mail
vertical
message,
video.
her vertical
Yes.
video with that dress, girl,
With that
that
horrid,
dress.
horrid
Whoever
dress.
she's gonna
She
regret
redeems
that dress.
herself on the runway this week. I'll say that much. I'll say that
But
much.
she's gonna regret that dress for years. But they've done this before,
Yes.
where the mini challenge is you pair up with someone and you are the arms and they are the face. And you do quick drag on them and they're supposed to come up with a story in 15 minutes. It's an improv challenge. It's smart.
Yeah.
And while they're doing that, the other queen is feeding them ice cream with a spoon or cake. It's ice cream cake, I think. It was a combo, I
Yeah.
think,
I think
maybe.
it seemed just largely ice cream, but my review of this challenge can be summed up in a single sound, which is I really oh, this was not an easy watch, Greg. This was not an easy
I
watch.
mean,
People getting
it.
throated with spoons, snot mixing in with ice cream. It was a whole
I
experience.
will say this: the Krystal moment when her a snot came out had some great one-liners back
Yeah,
from the
it
Queen's
did.
in the
It did.
confessional. I
I'm
think
not
Nick
gonna
said, "I've seen dicks smaller than that shot," and
lie.
Um, I think Satin said it was like as big as a candle. But I mean, it was funny, I guess. And some of them, it's funny. They've only known I mean, they all know each other from the scene, but they've only known each other in this context for a while. And
Yeah.
some of the like shading is already like vicious. I mean,
Yes.
especially Farron it's Farron, right? Am I pronouncing that right? Or
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Ferris?
Yes. Yes.
Farron. Farron is like is becoming the villain of the season a little bit in her confessionals. And she's being shady, but she already is ripping Alexandra and Nyx, who I thought were fine in this fucking mini
Yeah.
challenge. She's like, I wasn't expecting a genius story from them anyway. I'm like, okay, all
Okay,
right.
girl.
Give the
Okay,
producers
girl.
everything they want. But who are the winners of this mini challenge that will go down in history, Evan?
It will go down, certainly. Unlike my lunch. It is
Ugh.
Ferret and Escandalo. They are the winners of the challenge. Hooray. And they win some stuff. But most importantly, they get advantage in the Maxi Challenge this week, which is an acting challenge. It is a Javis directed show. Greg, what is the
Shocking.
name? What is the name of this a grand drama they're about to do, and also the name of the episode?
Evan, I didn't write down the name of it because I thought you did.
It is The Secret of Boner Bridge.
Oh
How
my
could you not
God.
remember one of the finest pieces of art ever done? So the good thing is that for Nana Scandalo, they get to sign out the roles on there. There's the usual bitching and moaning about I wanted this or whatever, and the usual
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what role you get, it kind of matters. It's also in the edit in the final result, it was pretty even keel. Like I thought anyone who got any role, there wasn't like really a whole like two line kind of thing. It felt like everyone had a chance to properly shine.
Wasn't Nyx only in the beginning of the skit? Did she come back at
So
the end for the wedding? Is she in the wedding scene?
yeah, she came.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, no, that was Nori at the very end, who was the old haggard queen
Right.
that was trying to interrupt the wedding. So, but yes, long story short, yes, it was Nyx who was right at the start
The
with.
only
Oh, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. You're right. The only apologies for Nora. The only thing before we got too far is the queens are genuinely excited that Yolanda Ramos, a Spanish actress, is there. She is, I believe, a queer icon. I'm going to take that guess. She's been in shows by the Javis, and also
Hmm.
she is a Goya nominee, which is the Oscars for Spain. She was nominated once, but she's also she has won the Feroz. That's spelled Feroz, which is the
Yeah.
Spanish Emmy. So she's sort of like, I'm not saying she's like Jean Smart. She's not that old, but you know what? She's a little bit of a Julie Louise Dreyfus. She's like a little bit of like
Yeah.
a dramatic flair there. So
She's work.
that was not a
Yeah.
fake response from them because we've seen many fake response from contestants about guest judges. They were genuinely happy she was there.
Absolutely. She's gonna earn her Spanish ego at some point, EGOT at some point, and I'm very excited
Yeah.
about that. But yeah, it's really cool that she's there. During the rehearsals themselves, after the roles are assigned, out the gate, Nyx, who basically as of last week I had almost completely written off, Nyx is
Oh.
going for it. Nyx is fucking slamming this down to the floor. Nyx is just giving you all the camp you could possibly want. The hobbies are very clearly living for it. Meanwhile, was someone who is so clearly a favorite of the hobbies, Satin Greco, is kind of struggling with the lines and getting the exact intonation down with some of these words or the exact phrasings. And so, like at one point during the rehearsal, they go over to her. It's like one
Yeah.
of the they're like, "Do you want to really look over the script?" And like giving a comforting kiss on the head. Like they're just really trying to be supportive, but also, they're used to actors on set. They need to get them to where they go. What was your take on all of this? Was there anyone you were did worse than you were expecting or better?
Well, first of all, I can't believe you started talking about all of this. How much, Evan, how quickly do you want to rush to this episode? The tall Javi is wearing a t-shirt that says, "You wish, LOL," which, like, literally, and then later
Some
on,
would argue he has a name. In our book, we just call
and,
him the
and
Tall
then,
Hawk.
then later on, he turns around and it has the most tacky fucking crystallized wings on the back of it. Like he bought it at some tourist shop in Ibiza. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude? Anyway, he's still hot.
The
Um,
tall one is Calvo, by the way.
Bravo. That's their last names. I'm
I
calling them
know.
tall and short
It's
hobbies,
tall and short.
but it doesn't
R.I.P.
matter.
Yeah.
But anyway, um,
So sorry to gloss
I
over the important
no, it's
details.
okay. I you know, Satin was definitely having a rough times. I thought the fact I wrote this down like the hobbies have to go over and hug her and
Yeah.
remind her she's the front runner. Wait, no, I'm sorry. They need to remind her that she needs confidence. They would never give away that she's going to get there till the end. I can't imagine.
Nope.
But then contrarily, Krystal is having some problems with her lines, and they don't go over and hug her. They don't get
No.
out of those
What?
chairs.
And also, for the record, number one, Crystal's outfit as Father Blessa is insane. I just know that Locke is upset she didn't get the mustache roll. You just know it.
Yes.
But
No, she
yes,
didn't
it's
want it. She didn't want
yes,
that role. Yeah. But I was
yeah.
just I also want to say uh in that scene also is Daphne
Daphne.
Mugler.
Yeah.
And she complains about being in every scene, or almost in every scene, about being too much. And I'm like, that's usually what you want. You don't
Right.
want to be. How many queens have we heard on so many seasons just complain about being in the background? Girl,
Uh-huh.
even if you're afraid of your acting abilities, you want a chance to be on screen as much as possible. And by the way, a lot of the queens did not want the big roles. And I get
Right.
it when it's a musical, but when I thought it
It's
was
just
wild for the
acting.
acting. Yeah.
Yeah. We are
Um,
the comedy queens.
uh, but anyway, in the rehearsals, I thought Margarita, as we later learn, is killing it. And they kept saying Nori did bad, and we'll get to it, but I was like, what was she supposed to do? What am I
I
missing?
it's It was weird because that was happening, and then also I thought personally, and we'll get to the actual like thing
Yeah,
itself if we want to, but I thought throughout the whole performance, Laka just didn't have that
flat,
dramatic thing. Right, exactly. Like she could do
flat.
intonations, but there's no character. There's no back. She's
Nope.
just basically doing a heightened version of herself, while some of the other queens are actually fucking trying. So everything you're saying right now about Nori, I absolutely agree. Even if it didn't maybe translate in the final product, she at least fucking went for it. She went full Uggo in her definition. But yeah,
Yeah.
just very, very fascinating.
So they the next day, or no, it must have been later. The next day it had to be because they had to edit the
Yeah.
piece, so it was the next day. They're back in the workrooms. They're getting ready for the runway challenge. Um, Krystal hugs a photo of her husband, who she loves and helps her make her outfits. Alexandra is happy her boyfriend is out there getting fucked all day and night in Barcelona because they have an open relationship. Bless them. And then we have a very moving moment, which if you hadn't thought that Margarita was doing well in the challenge, you might be worried about her, where she gives her sort of her a little bit of her life story and talks about
Hmm.
how her dad hasn't been in her life since she was 14 and yelled, "I don't want faggots in this house." And
Hmm.
that sort of ties in a little bit to the challenge because the word faggot is a big part of the storyline, which is a coincidence, I guess.
Hmm.
But the good news is Margarita has a wonderful relationship with her mom, so her life is good except for her relationship with her dad. But I don't believe she talked about wanting to reconcile with him, but it was just more
Hmm.
something that was sad. Did I miss something?
No, no, no. I think that's kind of the summation of what was going on. It was really tragic because, if I'm not mistaken, too, Margarita also in the previous episode talked about acting in
Yeah.
her friend's TikTok like show and always playing the queer or other gendered characters
Hmm.
before eventually it was internalized homophobia that she then later translated into her own career. So honestly, quite a lot of narrative for Margarita
Yeah.
all the way straight through, and I thought that was actually quite profound. How proud she was when her mom actually walked out on her dad, and
Hmm.
I've known some friends who've had similar things like that, where, old school marriage, you just stick around to the end, not realizing abuse is abuse and having to deal with that. But throughout all of this, I think also, Greg, not to, it seems you're rushing because I think you're forgetting one of the most important elements of the show, which is Krystal's RuPaul Barbie that she brings with her
Oh, I
as
missed
an
that part.
important prop. Yes, she brought out her actual RuPaul Barbie that she had hung little accoutrement to, and some of the queens are commenting on and saying like, "Oh yeah, that's great. Is it going to help you? Is it a good luck charm?" But yes, that is very valuable backstory for sweet sweet Krystal forever
I think I'm still stuck on the
on the hobby
uh
shirt.
I'm not on the hobby shirt, but of the fake storyline that's we already see teased for next episode between Nyx and Krystal hating
Girl,
each other and dissing each
girl.
other. We forgot to talk about that. That was also a moment where Nick basically, I don't know how it started, but Krystal told Nyx that she looked older than her. And Krystal looks super young. Krystal looks younger than Satine. And Nyx
Yeah,
is just beyond offended because Nyx might be insecure. Well, whatever.
yeah.
But let's get to the runways. And Supreme comes out, and you loved this dress, Evan.
I listen after last week's little punk tearaway kind of thing. This was a notable improvement. Overall, I would say. Love is a strong word, but I'll give her credit where credit is due. It was stronger than the week previous.
It was definitely stronger, and I guess my only thing is I thought it was too much black in the hair wig, like too much sprayed on black in the wig. Like it
Yeah.
sort of distracted from me.
What
But
is she? What is she? A talent show number on Slazer
yeah,
Royale, spray painting her wig? Crazy, crazy thoughts. Yes.
but this week's runway, uh, ha ha Hobby Hani Vision. Hobby
Hobby
Vision.
Vision.
Hobby
Yes.
Vision. And here's the big thing. I love the hobbies. They're genuinely super talented. They are in
Mhm.
demand. When they shot this, they only had 3 TV shows.
Yeah.
So, which is still, by the way, amazing in 5 years, like or six,
Yeah.
yeah, 5 years, I think. Or they've been producing for 6 years. So they shot one in 2019. It came out in 2020 in the pandemic. Um, but that's hard, a little hard. I would have waited another year. They just had a show on Netflix. I would have waited maybe. But
Mhm.
anyway, up first, Escandalo. Oh, and here's the big thing. I've seen Veneno.
La
You have.
Venero. Yeah.
Have you seen
I have
it?
not.
Okay. So for anyone listening who is from Spain or is massive fans of Spanish television, these references I'm going to say for both Evan and us were we a disconnect. We have no reference to most of them. Is that correct, Evan?
That I would say so. However, Lavanero being an icon
Yes.
has been done on Snatch Game
Yes.
and been done as
And
a
many
runway look a
runways.
couple
Yes.
times. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That was
listen,
the
if
one.
we're getting sick and tired of all these Marie Antoinettes, I've seen so much Lavanero. I've seen so much on this runway. Can't have it. And real quick, I usually do this at the start of every episode, but before we get into this
Oh, we
category
forgot.
especially, let's just do the quick run roll of just in this House of Love we believe that all drag is valid and no queen ever deserves online hate. All true. And as American entertainment journalists, we may not get every cultural reference, and we always appreciate corrections. Our Slasian fan base is doing that for us every single time, and we appreciate that. And there are some truly great queens who aren't great at drag race, and we love them all the same. With that said, yes, up first on Javi Vision, I was about to say Select's Addiction. I'm like, nope, wrong note. Is La Scandalo with this horizontal striped dress for a brief second. I thought this was the infamous "What color is this dress?" for a quick moment there.
Oh,
But overall, it definitely is a character, and they always show the reference photo of what they're trying to do from whatever the
yeah.
hobby production that's referenced. It's fine. It does its job.
All I know is Yolanda was in the show and she thought it was funny. She was in the show that she referenced, and I'm
Yes.
like, okay, that's fine. Speaking
Cool.
of another fine runway, Farron
Uh-huh.
is up, and I just her drag is so off to me, dude. Like it never. I get her mug. I get what she's going for.
Hmm.
It just doesn't connect with her aesthetic, no matter what she does. It's so odd to me. It reminds me of a UK queen trying to do Trixie Mattel in like old school UK drag. Am I
Hmm.
crazy?
No. I think her mug is a distinct. Let's be self. But like per what you're saying about the drag itself, this was. I thought the dress itself, kind of this uh rainwear kind of thing, like this clear plastic overlay. And there's a skirt and there's a jacket and everything. I'm like, okay, a nice hat. This is good look. There's
Yeah,
lots of like flowers and things within the plastic, the clear plastic. So you get that. And then underneath it is a suit dress thing. And that, again, may have been tied into the show. That felt wholly
yeah,
unnecessary for the sake of the look because the whole focal point was supposed to be this rainwear design. So I thought there was kind of, again, mixed messages, not a real clear line of vision straight through.
agreed. Up next was Nori, and it was just a mess.
It
Like
was a
she's trying
mess.
to tell a bunch of different things from the show and a
She loved
character.
it.
She did. Wow.
A trucker hat with a giant angel hoop over the top, and then this like this vomit of beads, just kind of like coming down on strings in
Silver,
the front.
yeah. It was a
Whew. Anyway, she
lot,
loved it.
and she loved it. And
The Dahlia Sin of Espana is here, everybody.
oh wow, I was thinking that or Kimora Black. She's giving that energy. No, she's
Thousand
giving that
percent.
energy, like
Thousand
that
percent.
energy. And one of the things about this episode, because there's so many charismatic queens and so many queens getting screen time, you probably didn't notice how little screen time Nori got this episode for a queen who was in the bottom. And
Right.
we'll get to the end, but I have a funny feeling she was not happy. I am really curious what tea we find out about her overall experience because it feels like even from the first episode that she thought she was fucked. Like I don't
Right.
know how to explain it, but it feels like she didn't think she had a shot the whole time.
Hmm.
Up next, of course, the one Denimbola. Denimbola, did I say that
Yeah,
right?
Denabola. Denabola
Denimbola.
Manao.
First of all, you have to be happy. She did not have her 14th century little
Ruffled collar.
ruffle
Yep.
color. I thought it was a really fun reveal. And she is cinched. Like
Yeah.
she didn't really show this oh
This
my
kind of
God, what are you
silhouette.
silhouette I in the first episode. I
Yeah.
was sort of impressed. I thought she was really good.
Yeah, to go from like bearded nun, okay, we've seen that. Fun fact, we actually see that again later on in
Yeah.
this exact same runway. And then to go into this kind of the silver Latina religious like crosses dangling from her outfit, it was just so unexpected. It was a very pleasant surprise. I was just like, okay, she's more than just the clown black and white aesthetic. And I think
Yep.
that's exactly the kind of thing you want to see at this point, episode two. There's more layers and waves. I'm like, got my eye on you. I don't think you're gonna win this show, but I'm excited.
She is not letting them give her the Michelle Visage show me versatility moment. She like right away is making, I mean, she's lucky it was this runway, but like
Yeah.
she's clearly planned out that I'm not going to go crazy with that.
Yeah.
Uh Up next, Daphne Mugler. I thought no matter what she was even doing, it wasn't groundbreaking, but this was a great drag look. Like I just
Mhm.
thought she looked great and hot. What did you
a
think?
drag a drag superhero. I mean, Greg, she's flicking the actual bean on
Yes,
stage.
yes.
It is not subtlety. It is not subtext. It is right there. We're going full vagina right here on this stage in terms of what we have out there. But as soon as she rips that off, she has these lovely flowing sticks. It's very superhero-y. It's overall a very nice look. There's another red look I like that happens a little bit later, but overall very solid. She's off to a great start this whole season.
Yeah, she totally is. Up next, Eva Harrington. So
Eva
I didn't
6000.
Eva's. Oh my God, damn shade. That is a deep cut shade. Uh, Eva. So here's the thing. I didn't love the green, but I thought the dress worked just there. I didn't think
Yeah.
she needed to reveal to like because they show the reference, and I'm like, this is a
Right.
great drag version of what they did, which was almost a drag
Hmm.
look. And then she takes it off, and it's just too much. It's like
It's too
she's
much.
trying to tell a story in this big hoop skirt, which has a container and has photos and things in it from the show or referencing the show. And it's super well made, but I was like, girl, you looked so great just with the green dress. Did you
Fully
agree?
agree. Wholly unnecessary. It's just like if you're gonna have a little Jesus shrine in there, it's a great concept. Also, I would like to see it a little bit clearer instead of having that sheer front over it. But like,
Yeah.
it was fine. It was acceptable. It was fine.
Part of me wonders like if she had done it in clear plastic, if it was she was they thought it might look cheap. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's you have to be careful. But you're right. Like, is there a way to do it to make it look more easier to see?
Yeah.
Um, Up next was our winner. I'm sorry. Satin Greco. And drag. Just drag. Loved the
Drag.
coat. Very Cruella de Vil.
The character's apparently based off of Cruella de Vil. It's from like a Christmas
Ah,
special thing that they did. That's what they say in some of the subtext notes. And like pulls it off. She's wearing these uggo ass flipper teeth. It is just like a full character swinging this thing around on stage. It was great.
one of the things I love about her, she's been doing this so long, she's not afraid to make herself look funny or goofy. She's not afraid
Yeah.
to play and like
Or be
realizes it
nude.
or be
Yeah.
nude. But the only other thing I was gonna say is I didn't understand why they went the judging panel went wild when she dropped her coat. Like I didn't, what did I miss?
I don't know. I
I
do
watched
not
it
know.
twice.
Yeah. And I do not know. It was really more the way she was swinging the giant black and white Cruella de Vil coat on
Uh,
stage that I think was getting them the attention. But like that was just more maybe mastery of coatography. I don't know. But yeah, it was. They still liked it. I still liked it. Yeah.
and Evan, speaking of some of the one characters we know or public figures we know, who was up next?
Oh, it's Alexandra Del and she's doing La Veneno. And listen, if it's a Javi-based runway, it's gonna come up. You just
Yep.
know it's gonna happen. We've seen this look. We've seen this actual La Veneno look before, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that as is. The problem is when it's episode 2 of season 5 of Drag Race Espana and your wig falls off. That's a problem right there. And
That was wild.
she recovers, but it's also like, what are we doing here? What? Really? I don't want to say I was shocked, but I was definitely a little like, oh, okay. Like it's just not what I expected from her. Does it cost her the win? TBD. We'll find out in a moment.
So I like Alexandra. She's giving them everything that the producers want in the confessionals.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something I realized this also the first episode. She she is so confident, which I love. It's a little bit of a false confidence. All drag queens
Mm-hmm.
should be delusional and confident. She's not delusional, but she's confident.
Right.
She thinks she's a little more polished and like top tier than she is. And
Mhm.
like this is an example of thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get away with this because I'm Alexandra Duvall and I'll be fine. And if I didn't glue this down, nothing's gonna go wrong. It's a little bit of that. Like you can tell just a tiny bit. Reminds me of oh my God, our New York City queen who did from oh my God, why am I forgetting her name? She did
Just
Liza Minnelli uh and then was back on All Stars.
oh my
Um
God.
we're
Oh,
both forgetting her
oh.
name, but you know who I'm talking about from the US season. This is so embarrassing. Too many queens. There's 500 queens or 300
Tamar,
queens.
do you watch the show? Oh my
Tamar, do you
God.
watch the show? But you know what I'm talking about. Like,
Yes.
she had that, like, I'm so great. And then you're something's like, I don't know if you really realize where you are.
Alexis Michelle. She's
Alexa.
yeah.
Okay.
I do not know how I got Alexis Michelle. Completely missed that, but that was yes, I get
Anyway,
that same energy,
sorry,
100%.
sorry for the reference. Up
Yeah.
next was Krystal Forever. And I thought the initial look was great. It was
This Virgin
stunning.
Mary overlay thing. Yeah, it was well done.
Yeah. Probably drag closet. Maybe like she's been doing drag a long time. I sort of
Fair.
thought maybe she pulled it from there because it wasn't that close to what the reference was. But she
Right.
was, I was like, okay, draggy, whatever. And then she does, but that first coast was stunning, and then she kept revealing, and I like that she was doing reveals. And as when eventually we'll get to the judging, and either you want queens to go all the way and do a lot, or you don't. Like
Yep.
it's one category, one way to judge for some queens, one way to judge for others. But whatever. I thought she looked
Yeah.
fine. What did you think?
She went from Virgin Mary to a nun, our second nun, to La Venero again. And again, this is like having too many Eliza Monstresues on the runway. This is just
Yeah.
like you have to think a little bit outside the box on this. It's okay. It's Javis. Someone's gonna do La Venero. Should I do La Venero? Oh, I absolutely should because I'm with drag queens. It's to a degree. I understand the ambition. To another degree, if you're gonna do Javis, you're just gonna do the basic tropes. It's like okay, some people found something to go with. So I think she kind of knocked herself a little bit in the ass with that.
So Evan, I have rarely, if ever, disagreed with if there's our Lord and Savior Carmen Farala.
Yeah,
I guess our saint would be Saint Anna Locking. And
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever disagreed with her take on a runway as much as this one. Could you please just tell our listeners and viewers what did Margarita wear?
Okay, so I just want to briefly describe on here. Margarita, and I mean this truly, is I think wearing this white, almost like stitched gown. It's like embroidered, like it has all these different layers and kind of panels and elements to it. In the middle, there's a symbol, I guess, from one of the shows. I guess this is
Yeah.
a character that was obsessed with the alien abduction, and was like obsessed with aliens. And so, like, I thought the actual outfit itself, it's very white. The embroidery is very clear. I thought it was very lovely. And I didn't see any problem. Oh, wait, Greg, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that she's wearing a flying saucer on her head
Mm-hmm.
with lights going around it and a little alien up top managing everything. I don't know how I forgot that detail. But yes, there is a flying saucer on top of this cult garment that effectively is going on. And it's like, it's weird because they do not match. They do not match. They do not have a
Nope.
correlation together. I do think the outfit is good. I think the alien head spaceship has impact. I think there would have been a way to go one way or another instead of both. But they loved it.
They loved it. And I
Yeah.
had, before they even said anything eventually, or actually when she first walked out, I wrote, boot, nope, like not for me, but I am not judging Drag Race Espana, but they loved it.
They loved it.
Okay, up next is Nyx, and she is doing a very close, they showed the reference, it's very close, reference to a character from one of the shows. And she describes it as a high fashion version of that. I'm right. You're giving me a weird look. Are you not
No,
remember?
I was impressed by this. I was
Oh,
really I
I
was
thought,
impressed by
oh,
this.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I
I
thought it was
was.
fine. No, it's great. They were too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just, it was not my cup of tea. I'm not really big into like, I find, like that sort of, like fabric sort of like, um, oh my God, I can't speak. You know, we were at the warehouse party last night till like 4 a.m. So we're a little not clear today, but I just that sort of like sewn together, like I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea. I've never really liked it on any queen, so I have a aversion to it. But I thought it looked fine. I thought it was good, but
Yeah.
they loved it. You loved it too.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot more editorial and a lot more oh, I don't want to say demure, but I thought it was just a lot more conservative, just smartly chosen, very edited. I thought it was a very
Yeah.
smart look overall. Yeah.
Uh,
Compared to our last queen, Laka Udia, who decided to do if Greg, I don't want to see any more La Veneros on the runway. I don't want to see any more Marie Antoinettes, and
Showgirls?
I don't want to see any more showgirls. Her mind, give credit to Laka for remembering that this is the week of Taylor Swift's Life as a
Yes.
Showgirl, whatever the
In
fuck this terrible
October of
album is.
last year, she knew it
Yep.
was coming.
She was going to be dignitized like everybody else in this world. But let me tell you, she did it. It's a white showgirl outfit, and wait, as I'm describing it, it's leaving my head. It's that unmemorable. Oh my God.
So, listen, I have
Greg loved
criticisms
it.
of
Best
Laka.
best
No,
of the
no.
year.
No. I thought it looked polished. But I wrote this. I was like, it's close to dry closet. She may have had this in
Oh,
her thing,
yes.
or she may have picked it up in whatever version of Santi Alley exists in Madrid. But I wasn't mad at it. I thought it looked clean and good, and compared to some of the other looks, it popped a little bit. But I get it. It's not going to be something that like she's gonna frame like on her wall. Like, yeah, like I
I'm
get
not
it.
framing it on mine, I'll tell you that much. Anyways,
Okay.
then we get to watch the show. We watched the show. Nyx is a camp goddess. I don't know what it's kind of crazy how good Nyx is in the edit. I'm actually genuinely her and Alexandra have the opening scene and it's the best of the whole thing. And I guess the other thing too is that as they're watching the thing, Margarita gets props because she's not doing overt camp. Margarita's actually finding layers. She's actually finding nuance. She's kind of finding ups and downs within the character, and the judges seem to really be responding to it.
Well, when we find out when they've seen it, like,
Oh
yeah,
yes.
absolutely. I I just had three takes. I thought I need to watch it again. I thought Nyx and Margarita were fine. I didn't laugh. I thought it was
Yeah.
okay. All I was distracted by is that both of them look super sweaty. Like Nyx looked like she, and I don't know if it's because it was hot in the soundstage when they shot it or what, but you can literally see the water like going down her face. Like it's like whoa. Um, and Laka was flat. That's when I wrote like her delivery is so flat. And I was shocked. And
Should have
maybe
been in the
that
bottom.
works in
Should have been in the
Spanish.
bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or low at least.
At the very
Um,
least, yeah.
and I thought Krystal was good. I thought she was really
I
good.
agree.
I
I
was I
agree.
do not understand why she was in the bottom, and we'll get to it, but I was like, I thought she was one of the better actors
This
in the entire skit. It blew my mind.
this gets it really. I mean, but honestly, what kind of happens though is what has been a critique of Drag Race US sometimes as well, which is I don't know. It's like you did great on stage, but in rehearsal, you were difficult to work with or whatever. I'm like, okay, are we judging the rehearsal or are we judging what is the final
Right.
product? Because that seems to be, like I thought that's what counts, but then again, the Brit Gala is only judged by how well you interact with the judges instead of what you actually
Yeah.
wear. So this was another one where it definitely felt like the finger was on the scale a little bit.
And the one thing I did really notice is again they're on for those who somehow have not watched the episode and just are wonderfully listening to us. The queens are on stage. They're watching the episode all together with the judges, and the skit ends and they cut to the judges, and the Javis and Yolanda are yay crap, and Supreme has this look on her face like that meme with Oprah where she goes, eh, like it was very that.
Yeah.
I don't think Supreme was as impressed with it as everyone else was.
Supreme's going to
But
be a lot less impressed as the episode goes on. Don't worry.
oh boy, she is not. Yeah. Uh, but then we find out who is safe and who is not. Uh,
Yes.
uh, Escandalo, Farron, Debanola. Did I say that again? I'm going to get that. It's going
Denebola?
to take me
Yeah.
10 episodes. Daphne, Eva Harrington, and Laka are all safe.
Mhm.
Did you disagree with any of these safes?
I did. I think Laka should have been in the bottom. Truly, I stand by that. I don't care about her showgirl look, and I thought she did bad in the challenge. Straight up, she should have been there instead of Krystal.
But they love her. She's their Brooklyn Spanish queen. They want that hip audience to watch. She can't go
Uh,
home. Uh,
yeah, the
uh,
Yuhua of the season.
the UI, yeah. So then that gives us Nori, Satin, Alexandra, Krystal, Margarita, and Nyx on stage. Nori's up first. They criticized her for not bringing out the character, and I'm like, what character? There is nothing on the. She did exactly what it was supposed to be. She is a crazy person with one line. Like,
Hmm.
what were they expecting? Um, I get her being in the bottom because that runway was terrible.
Garbage,
But the
garbage.
my thing is like, what is this criticism? Like, I just if I met the hobbies, I'd be like, guys, what are you doing? Like, this
Hmm.
was the role she was assigned. What else? And here's the thing: if we don't know this, they didn't show it. If they wanted her to be campy and funny with it, which they didn't want for some of the other performances, they
Hmm.
needed to tell her that. They're the directors. And in not, she's trying to give realism, and she's doing everything. They're like, turn to the left, turn to the right. That's what directors do. I was like a little, I
Maybe
felt bad for Nori at this moment.
maybe they should have gone over and given her a little hug and a kiss of encouragement. Maybe that's what
I
she needed
know.
to get there. Yeah.
Then they say, and here's the thing. I love Satin Greco. She's so fun. She is going to be, I can tell no matter what happens this season, she's going to be part of the Drag Race wider
Hmm.
universe for
Ecosystem.
years,
Yeah.
ecosystem for years on end. But they're like, she's a show off. They're like, you're so good. And I'm like, what did you see? Because I saw Bianca Del Rio in her terrible movies, and not even
Yeah.
that good. Like,
Uh-huh.
I was whatever. I don't know why she gets a pass and Krystal did not. But thank God Supreme said something. Supreme
Yeah.
at least was critical of her. I got to give Supreme credit. She's not playing, she's being honest with everything this season, even if the producers, hobbies, everyone else are trying to dictate stuff. Did I
Yeah.
miss anything?
Oh, I think you did, Greg. I think you missed that Satin Greco got the first OVA of the
Oh,
season for that.
look.
For that. It's okay. She's gonna give out more.
Yes, she will. Um, oh, our saint Anna, what's going on? Okay. Up next was Alexandra. They liked her in the challenge, and to be honest, I'm guessing she could have potentially won, but they
And
call it
enough
the
into the
wig.
wig.
You
Yep.
can't, you can't do it.
If they're
It's
gonna
that
if they're gonna
simple.
give if they're gonna give one of the other queens Margarita last week problem with this plate spinning, the second plate not landing, then they're gonna get over details of stuff like that. So I understand. Like they're being hypercritical.
So Krystal, they're being super hypercritical. They say she froze, but in the edited skit, you would never have known.
At
Never
all.
ever known. Like it's so silly. Do you know how many fucking Oscar nominated performances older actors have their lines piped into them in their fucking ear? Like I
Hmm.
just if it works on screen, why are you it's one thing if an actor is being difficult. If they want to criticize that during rehearsal, I get it. But if they get to the point where they got what they needed for the why are you like they didn't ever complain that they were behind or she slowed down the shoot. They just said she froze. Every great actor freezes.
Hmm.
Come on. It's all just because of the
All the
narrative.
money in the world, Greg. All the money in the
All the
world.
money in the world. Oh my God. Having a flashback of when that movie came out. Okay. Margarita. They liked her.
Ova!
Ova.
Ova!
They liked her. They liked the look. Even Anna.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening?
Again, I love the garment. It's the alien. It's the flying saucer every
Yeah.
time. One flying saucer too many. But her performance was very good, and I think they were right to call it out. Very, very much so.
And then they think Nyx is the next discovery of the next great actress from Spain. Do you agree with their praise for Nyx?
She could do camp really well. I don't know about anything else beyond that, but she could do camp. I'll tell you that much. And she did do camp very well. That's the thing. Let's not be too hard on her. But
Yes. No, no. I'm not trying.
that's yeah, and so I was happy for her, but really, I'll be honest, Greg, after kind of really being low, Nori and Nyx last week, I kind of thought outside of her runway, Nori still did okay. So I thought this is going to be almost a redemptive moment for both of them. And no, instead it's more of a redemptive moment for Margarita and Nyx.
Yeah.
Nori is happy to get the bury me edit, apparently.
My God. So they go back into the workroom. We first talk to the queens who are safe. And I don't remember anything. What was memorable about that? I don't. I just remember
Oh,
Laka being very overconfident.
yeah, Locke being overconfident, but also very grateful to be safe, as she says to her confessional. Hey, like it's not great to be safe, but also that's a great way to get to the crown. So, which, Electro Bionic, who knows? Maybe that's a way to pull it
Um,
off. But either way, all I can say is that when the queens do come back in the workroom, Nori is Mrs. Bitter Boots. Nori is bitter, bitter boots over here. Let me tell you, she is upset. I gave
and you
them
know
everything they
what?
wanted. Yeah.
You know what? Good on her. Like
Good on her.
I'm sort of like, you know what? I get it. I get why you're upset. I would be upset too. I may have been even more angry. Who knows what else she said. Uh, but I mean, I think the other queens sort of get it. I didn't think they were thinking that she was being like that out of bounds. Or was I wrong?
No, but she is just truly in the mindset she doesn't understand what she was for the judges. She is under the impression that she gave them the exact reference that they wanted, but apparently it wasn't good enough. So she's hitting a
Mm.
frustration point of not knowing what the judges want. And, Satine has a little bit of moment, and it is kind of sad that both Satine and Krystal, our two eldest queens, are in the bottom together, but I just knew they were going to save one of them. And it was probably, I mean,
Oh,
after they gave you an Ova, it was pretty obvious it was going to be
well,
Satine that was going to be safe. But
well,
yeah.
well, Evan, they had to save one of them because there were only three of them. So they had to save one. You said they're going to but
Yeah,
yes.
I
So
mean, one of the two older queens. Yes, that's
oh,
what I
right,
meant. They
right,
were
right.
going to make those two Rosetta Stones of drag lip sync against each other.
But they come back on stage, Evan, and
Hmm.
we have and who is our winner? Who wins this week's challenge?
Well, to the surprise, I thought Loki that was going to be next. No, it's Margarita Califata who ends up winning the challenge, and she gets the Gregory Ellwood experience. Not only does she win the cash tip and the win for the week, she also gets to go to a film festival, stay at a hotel while over there as well. They throw that in as well, which she says is perfectly deserving.
And it's in Sitges. And thank God, because she doesn't live in Barcelona because that's a 45-minute drive by Uber. She lives in Madrid, so it's a real trip. Like it'll be a real trip for her. So
Yay!
I was like, oh, thank God. Because nothing's
Yeah,
worse than winning a trip in a hotel when you could drive home anyway. But
absolutely.
but anyway, I'm happy for Margarita. It's deserved outside of that runway. And we have a bottom. Satine is low, but she gets the pass because of her runway. And it is Krystal versus Nori to Zora by Nebula, if I got that correct.
Nebulosa, yes.
Nebulosa, which is a song that sounds like it's from the mid-aughts, but it was released in 2023. I looked it up. So,
Pretty fun
Evan,
song.
pretty fun song. What did you think of this lip sync?
So it's you really, if anyone is looking out to enhance your Drag Race Tumblr, if that's still a thing, with some fun gifs from judges being unimpressed, you got a smorgasbord to work with here. Let me tell you, you have a dynamite reel of judges reacting very negatively towards a lip sync, and maybe I'm stupid. It's fully possible. I thought they talk about how, long story short, very early on in the lip sync, it's very clear that Nori doesn't know the words, and I mean very early on. A
Yeah.
tray. She takes off the hat. She walks to the back of the stage. She's facing other directions. She's not showing off her mouth. She's still doing stunts, but she is checked out. When I said Dahlia Sin earlier, that was a very explicit reference. However, they also say that Krystal doesn't seem to know the words as well, and maybe I'm not as clued in. It felt like Krystal was a little bit more present. She was at least announcing and using her mouth directly towards the judges. She wasn't trying to hide anything, or can I take it off? It's really, she really, I thought, had a lot more presence in it, but the judges just aren't feeling it whatsoever. Did you fully clock that Krystal didn't know all the words?
No, I thought Krystal totally knew the words. I thought
So
that
too.
I thought
Okay.
it was just obvious that
I mean, it
Nori
was
did.
obvious that Nori did not, yeah.
And
But
I'm sort of surprised. I missed that line. I might have been taking notes when one of the other queens said that she did that she didn't know that, or did Supreme say that at the end?
I think it
She
was
said,
said two different times. I think Fran was the primary narrator of the lip sync, who's just
okay,
like. Also, at one point, Fran says the comment of like, "Girls, you're just standing there doing
they're
nothing," as it's
not.
cutting to clips of them doing splits and rolls and shit, and it's like, girl, like it's like I just
Uh,
felt it felt very odd. It felt very. I don't want to say it's full Hanaconda Marina Summersy, but it definitely felt like there was
mm.
something that was missing in how it was edited. If I'm being real,
I mean, I'll be honest. There was no way Nori won this lip sync. I thought
at all.
she also. My takeaway was that maybe Nori can perform. Maybe she's a really good performer, but on this day, whether it was in her head or she just was like knew they were sending her home, she was not bringing it at all. And that's fine. That's totally cool. But you could just tell, like, when she picked, like, there was the moment where, like, she went in on the ground and one of her jewels or bracelets came off, and she so casually just picked it up. Like, the energy level was just like, I'm just doing this. They're sending me home. Like,
Yeah.
what am I? And Krystal, I thought, is a good performer, like very good. I'm
Hmm.
curious how she'll lip sync in the future if she does. but I also thought that she was nervous. Like she
Yeah.
thought she could go home, and you could see that in the performance a little bit. It was a bad lip. It was not as bad as some UK lip syncs, but it was not
Or
a
so, or
or
some
down
U.S.
on
lip syncs.
or some US, yeah,
Zero apologies to Yes and by Ariana
yeah.
Grande.
But
Uh,
it was not good for Spain on a curve. It was not good.
Absolutely. And I think Supreme at the start of the critique afterwards is just like, I just want you all to know that we are going to eliminate one of you, but I expected so much from both of you. Like she's just outright says that she is not happy with what just went down. But still not a double elimination. They're still only going to eliminate one. They're not going to give away a whole heart this week, just a half
No.
heart. Greg, what do they decide and do you agree?
They decide that Nora's going home. By the way, did the heart thing come up this episode? Did we even?
So she said, when you're leaving, give away your heart. And then in the preview for the next episode, I guess during the critiques or something like that, they'll reveal who she left her heart to. So then they'll
Oh,
know, I guess after the critiques, top three, bottom three are established, they will figure out who has the whole heart and can make that decision to save someone.
so for those of you who are just randomly joining us on episode two, feel free to first of all listen to our other episodes
Yes.
and listen to our coverage of season four last year. But also, more importantly, this year has a very strange and convoluted golden beaver sort of, but not golden beaver. You can be safe, golden ticket like
Heart
chocolate
giveaway.
bar
Yeah.
thing, yeah, heart
Cake,
thing
queen in
where,
a cake. Yeah.
yeah, where if someone gives you their heart and you get in the bottom, you can save
But you could save
yourself.
another queen too if you want to. So it's still kind of golden beavery, and it'll change week
Yeah.
over week. Yeah.
Again,
Well,
convoluted and not really necessary, but
yeah.
anyway, we'll find out more next week. Um,
Yeah.
uh, and the other thing I noticed about the lip sync that I just had to bring it is Alexandria is in the back and she is bringing it doing the lip sync herself. She is going nuts. She's having a blast. She's safe. And I mean, she lost her wig. She was probably like, I could be in the bottom. But
Hmm.
she was ready to like boots the house down with like the house down with that lip sync. Um, but anyway, Evan, we are two episodes in of Drag Race Espana, season five. First of all, what do you think of the season so far? And two, who is the next great superstar, the next drag race winner from Espana?
So far, it's off to a very solid start, I would say. I think it's pretty obvious who the wheat and the chaff are overall in terms of who the good queens are. But I like this group. I thought last season also had a very good group too, even if with La Bella Vampi. And I'm excited to see. I think there's a lot of people I'm warming up to that I didn't warm up to in the first episode. And I'm not going to give you one queen on here. I am going to stick to my
Hmm.
guns though, because I think the top two at this point is going to be a split between Satin Greco and Daphne Mugler. I think those two, they just have something, and I think having the youngest and the second oldest pair off against each other, I think is a fun detail. I think it's going to be tight between them, at least what I think. Who do you think is going to win, Mr. Gregory Ellwood?
You know, you took the words right out of my mouth. I actually think that it's very much setting up a Lavoie versus
Kyron, yeah,
Kyron from UK, which was probably unintentional. And because I think Daphne has shown a level of drag that, at least in her runways, that is much more sophisticated than you expect for a 22-year-old or 20. She's
100%.
20, right? No, she's
Yeah, she's
20.
20 actually. Yeah.
For 20, like that's like even Aquaria was
This is
21.
like yeah this is like Aquaria level kind of stuff she's dealing
Yeah.
with. I don't think she has the personality or confidence necessarily of Aquaria,
No.
but she does have a taste level that is elevated even about some of her other sisters.
Yeah, agree. I don't know if she also
Yeah.
has the artistic connections around her yet. I mean, one of the great things about Aquarius, she was doing drag in New York for like 3 years, and like she made all these friends who like, I mean, that's what you do. Like you bring creative people around you, and that
Hmm.
helped her drag elevate to another level. But anyway, um, I think it's a fun season. I hope everyone who is listening to us, first of all, please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Bluesky. Follow us on Instagram. We put all the
Instagram.
links. Yeah, we put all the links in the post. And if you're happy, listen. I think we're going to do this for the rest of the season. It doesn't really affect us to break it up. And that way, if you don't want to listen to us talk about UK, you can just listen to us talk about Hispania. And
Mhm.
tell your friends, enjoy. And listen, we've given you a good 45, 50 minutes. So if you're going on a run every week, we're here for you. Like, just listen,
Yeah.
join us.
It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I do. All I know is that life is a party and y'all are going to be invited or something like that. Either way, we
Yeah.
will catch you next week, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.